Another highlight that's wowing visitors in the Perry Exhibition Hall, 3D printed houses.
We're also going to exhibit parts of the latest technology in 3D construction printing. It's the only second generation printer that is out there, so it's not a prototype anymore. We as Perry, we invested in a Danish startup called COBOD, and together with them, very closely cooperating, we want to push this technology forwards and getting it to break through inside the construction industry.
It's a fantastic experience. It's actually turned out to work very, very well. And of course, we are impressed by the power of Perry, so we couldn't have found a better partner.
With the promise of cutting waste, reducing time on site and addressing labour shortages, some see 3D printing as the answer to many of our world's challenges. But while 3D printed structures have appeared around the world, from Canada and the Netherlands to Dubai, which wants to 3D print a quarter of its new buildings by 2030, the technology is yet to take off as a widespread building technique. But the completion of this 3D printed house in Beckham, Germany is set to change everything. Developed by leading formwork and scaffolding firm Perry, experts in its disruptive products and technologies department and its project partners, the structure, a detached single-family property, is the first 3D printed house in Germany and offers 160 square meters of living space across its 2 stories. Critically, the structure is the first 3D printed building in Germany to become certified with a national building accreditation, smashing a major barrier and paving the way for larger, more complex projects. Located just outside the city of Ulm, Perry's team is now working on the largest 3D printed multifamily house in Europe, with 380 square meters of living space divided into 5 apartments across 3 levels.
When we build up the printer on a construction site, directly on the site, and we start printing there, that was a moment for me where I realized that we are printing that on site and people will live in there. So that was for me a moment where I really said, wow, that's not just theory and that's not just in a lab, it could happen in real.
The homes were both built with COBOD's modular BOD2 printing system, a flexible platform that can be scaled to suit projects of varying size. The printer needs just 2 operators and takes less than 48 hours to set up on site. Once up and running, the system can print as fast as a meter per second.
It's a project where the investors get rents out every month, so it's something which will be used. And the other thing is, I guess, the speed and the size. Now it's actually the biggest 3D printed building in Europe.
With services and other works already coordinated with the structural design, errors on site have been almost completely eradicated, saving time, money and waste material.
What kind of real-world savings have you seen on this project so far?
There's really this integration of other trades has a huge impact. So we've had the electrician come into one of these buildings and he walks around and says, well guys, I'll be saving up to like 12 days in here. So we are saving a lot of labor in other trades because in the buildings we're executing, there's not going to be a single slot that has to be cut. Nobody's going to have to drill a hole for a power outlet.
I mean, securing German building certification is a huge step for you guys and a huge step for the world of 3D printing. What kind of other challenges and barriers are there on the way between where we are now and this being the way we build our homes, buildings, offices?
Well, it's a lot about educating people, really, to know, it's a different type of planning a building. It's different for the contractor, it's different for the electrician, it's different all around for everybody involved. So all these trades now have to learn how to cope with this technology and how to make the best of it, not be threatened by it, but to see the potential it can have for these individual trades and make their life easier and make construction more safe and more efficient. 3D printing will play a very important role, we are convinced of that, but this educational diffusion process into the market will still take some time.
Would you live in a 3D printed house?
Oh, of course. Right away, I'd be all over the design of that. I mean, just having round shapes, which are also way more sustainable than the weird rectangles that we build right now. Definitely, and we've tested all of it, so we know that it's very, very stable.